at this point. Please, Brother Abdul Wahab, thank you. Jazakallah khair for joining us today. Wallahi, your presence is very valuable. A lot of people have benefited. I see your table was the most busy table. I see a lot of visitors. And thank you very much for taking your time and joining us today's session. Please welcome and thank you.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم والصلاة والسلام على سيدنا محمد رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم. Dear brothers, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Okay, I'm sorry, maybe my English is not that good, so I hope I can convey my message, because the situation is very serious, and I wanted all in the business be aware about the incidents, because we're in a very tough times. Unless we all cooperate, we cannot go through this epidemic. In my speech, I will speak in two parts. The first part, I will speak briefly about what's government of Saudi Arabia done so far. We know late in last or before last, December, this virus have been seen in China, and everybody is aware about all the incidents happened later on. And in March, the Saudi government have stopped, ban arrivals of Umrah. Thing is that what Saudi government have done is something is not. Makkah is one of the largest annual. In Makkah, Umrah and Hajj is one of the largest religious mass gathering, in the world. Each year, more than 12 million to 15 million, people come from abroad. I'm not considering the local, from 180 countries, from around the world. With this epidemic, with this virus, the virus is very easily transmitted between humans. And it is posing a very serious risk to public health and worldwide, including the Saudi Arabia. So Saudi Arabia government took these measures, against the COVID-19 to protect the people, to protect Hujjaj and Mu'tamirin, because there's going to be a serious threat, from the virus if these precautions have not been taken. Because there is a problem with that, if anybody came to our Umrah or Hajj, and he caught the virus, he will go back and he may cause a potential threat to his home country. So this is suggested Saudi government that to stop, spreading the virus internationally. So that's one of the and by the example, this example of Saudi Arabia, there was a very obvious that there is a relation between early suspension of religious mass gathering and lower occurrence of COVID-19 transmission in countries of people arriving to Umrah. So it was, alhamdulillah, good, thing they made so far, for this pandemic, and they are assessing all the time. They are assessing the situation, internationally and domestically, to take any step, forward, in this regard. Usually, during Hajj and Umrah, there is too much, gathering occurring, overcrowding, like in Haram, people doing the rituals at housing, hotels and housing accommodations. All these things, all these factors may, transmit, is a possible transmission of the virus. So that's why the Saudi government have stopped this, made all these decisions, all these. Nobody's happy with these things, but that's something, we have no hand in this, alhamdulillah. As we know, that majority of pilgrims are of older ages, and those are very highly prone to risk of mortality, So again, there's the risk in Umrah and Hajj is high, this regard. That's why, and again, nobody can say actually, because still, things all related to the situation of the virus, and the spread of the virus locally and internationally. So nobody knows actually how the situation going to be next, even tomorrow, So things, Wazat al-Hajj and related authorities regularly analyzing the situation of COVID-19 and involving the religious scholars here in Saudi and internationally to make appropriate decisions about Hajj and Umrah. Alhamdulillah, things are now getting a little better. Before we had for a couple of months been stopped. For 7 months Umrah. 3 months ago, Umrah have been started, but Saudi government opened totally the Umrah, but there is no. The mu'tamirs themselves, the clients, are not hesitating to come for Umrah, for so many reasons. Maybe you're all are aware about, So only a few thousands during these 3 months arrived, for Umrah. Not much of mu'tamirs, due to so many reasons. But anyhow, we have to cope with this situation. That's pandemic, alhamdulillah, we say. And the thing, let's see in the future. Now let's discuss what's gonna happen in the future. Of course, about the pandemic, nobody knows. Maybe with the appearance of the vaccine, things will be relieved a little bit. Hopefully, that vaccine can cover all the variants may appear. May appear or may appear in the future. That's again one of the obstacles we may face. This is regarding the government of Saudi Arabia process or procedure, so far and policy. During my meetings today, in the event before, all the people are wanted to know the future. What's going to be? How going to be in Ramadan, for instance? Still, again, nobody knows. The government of Saudi Arabia, because this stoppage of Umrah affected the economy of Saudi Arabia, especially Makkah and Madinah, very much. And they are eager to, Saudi government, everybody here, authorities, are eager to get Umrah back. But in a safe way, provided that in a safe, there's no hazards or serious problem may occur from due to the virus. So they're assessing the situation. Hopefully, things this year it's very difficult. Even if people start coming in Ramadan, there are certain problems. They may affect the number of arrivals. Like the age, the cost of the packages and cost of airlines, different different parts of the package. Again, the safety of the mu'tamirs and safety of people would be very reluctant to perform Umrah in this situation regarding safety. One major problem is, again, anyone who have to come, he have to stay for a couple of days in quarantine, and then again he can perform only one Umrah during his trip, and that's very unpleasant. And staying in Haram and these things, they have to get an appointment. They may not find chances to stay at Haram, for long times. So all this together, people are hesitating to come this season. There is, with this situation, and precautions of for safety of prayers and mu'tamirs in Haram. With this distancing, the capacity of Haram have been lowered, to very minimum number, compared to the numbers of before. Before it was, the capacity of Haram was 2.5 million after the extension. But now it doesn't even less than 10% of this number. So not much people can afford to be at Haram at the same time. So that's one factor. Again, the people will. That's roughly about what happens during so far. Now let's speak about the future. Of Umrah. We should consider, okay, inshallah, Umrah will be in Ramadan, but let's speak for the future, for next season and the coming years, afterwards. There's so many challenges, in front of travel agents and Saudi companies, and service providers as well, The numbers will not be as most of travel and aviation experts say that things will not come as normal by 2023 or 2024. So we don't expect even next season the numbers will be very high, Still, because those precautions which have been implemented during the crisis, it will be continue, like reserving for Umrah and getting for Haram, and they'll continue. Things we have to be aware that so many strategy or so many things have been came through this pandemic will continue, like distancing, like safety precaution. These things, these will continue even if the pandemic, situation got good properly, and this will affect so many things. The capacity of Haram, the capacity of hoteling, the cost of the service. Everything, all these things, we have to live with these new factors in the business. We could not continue without it, So there are so many challenges facing all those related in this business, Again, there are other things, we have to speak, and we should consider it very, very well. It's very important, and it will be parent, in the coming future, within 3-4 years, these things. Now, we have noticed that those travel agents from Europe or America, they have noticed that the number of mu'tamers, due because of the visa, visit visa, the number of mu'tamers have been decreased those who come through travel agents. Because any mu'tamir, he wants to perform Umrah, he just go to the website of Minister of Foreign Affairs and he get his visa, He doesn't have to go through a travel agent or whatever. But there are chance, and within 3-4 years, all countries will be like this, There's no need to go to Saudi company to get the visa, Visas will be offered to anyone through Minister of Foreign Affairs, through their website. You can get the visa. How we can cope with these new changes? We have to consider this very much, because this is a challenge that may face Saudi companies and travel agents and service providers. This is the challenge that we have to face. There are ways, to cover this. First of all, during we are aware, the service, the service of Umrah is the mu'tamir. Let's speak frankly, and we say put the dots in the people, the service doesn't satisfy anyone. The service provided to Umrah, to pilgrims, Umrah pilgrims, are not satisfying. At least for myself, it's not satisfying. They deserve more service, more support, more efforts towards them. In order to stay in the market, now the competition will be very high. First of all, there are so many issues again regarding the number of travel agents, number of Saudi companies. Some legal issues now here arising here in Saudi. The number of Saudi companies will drop down, from maybe 50% due to some legal issues, But again, the travel agents, in the other side, it will be opposite, More and more travel agents will be penetrating the market, So the number of clients, any travel agent who can afford, it will be less now. So now, in order to keep your customers, your clients, you have to pay more attention for the service. There are so many factors, can affect this. Can affect this thing, I want to go back to regarding the visas. The visas, when the visas are open, then mostly now the mu'tamir, he comes to the travel agent or the Saudi company because of the visa. If he has the visa, then why he have to bother coming through a travel agent or a Saudi company? He can do it directly by himself, He got the visa and then he book a hotel or wherever, book the service, and he come. And this will, within a few years, this will happen, So how we can deal with the situation? This is a serious, this is going to be more serious than the epidemic, we are facing now. But this epidemic came as a bill, that we do something about the future, We organize our business. We pay more service. We provide more service. Because, you see, in a public relation, they said, one satisfied customer, he will convey the message to 5. But one unsatisfied customer, he will pay the message to 20. So let's keep our unsatisfied customer, as minimum as possible, to keep our customers. The thing is that how we can attract a mu'tamir who can get the visa from by himself, There are ways, Then this is gonna professionals, Now the business will be more professional. We should invest, spend more in marketing for the business, Marketing, because before we didn't bother much about this factor, Now we should pay more attention for this factor, We have to go to the customers. You see, now you should make packages that are so competitive that, because anyone, if he is willing to, for instance, any client who wants to come for Umrah, he's looking for someone to provide the service, either by himself or some other third party, So if we could provide, if you manage through altogether the Umrah company and the travel agent, they have to work very closely. If we could manage and make packages that are very attractive, services are very good, for the mu'tamirs. Let's give, the mu'tamirs the time to pay all his trip, spend all his trip, time in praying and enjoying his haram and his rituals. He have no other issues he have to take care of, like hoteling or taking after other things, So these things we have to get to send this message to the mu'tamir that we can take all over the burdens of your trip of you. We give you a very attractive prices, services. People will take care of you in holy cities. These things, this one thing, factor that we could give to mu'tamirs. The quality of the service is very, very important. And it will we will take care from the time he gets to the travel agent's office till the time he leaves Saudi. All these services should be available for the. We should use nowadays with this new technological advancement and these things can be very there are so many helpful techniques we could be implemented in this regard. We should start loyalty programs of clients and encourage them to continue more than by points, and these different types of strategies for loyalty program. This is a very important thing. The staff of those in the business should be trained very well, behave very well with the mu'tamirs to take their traction. So we spoke about the factor of the service, quality of the service, the competitive prices. This is very important again for the attracting, clients. There are other sources. Okay, again, we have to pay attention for other value-added services next, and we have these services could again be another new source of income for the participants of the service, because we have to find other sources of income again in the business to promote, because just getting a visa and these things are not very going to be very incentive, for the company to stay in the business. We have to find other sources of. We have to make attractions, in marketing. There's so many type of tourism. We are only now assisting in religious tourism, which is Umrah. No, there are so many attractions can be introduced to the customers, to the clients, like. There are cultural tourism, there are leisure tourism, there are ecotourism, there are business tourism, there are shopping tourism. So many, all these type of tourism could be introduced to the customer. We should plan and a new strategy for marketing. I'm totally insisting in marketing strategy. We should invest very much, we in marketing and go to the clients. We don't wait to the clients to come. We have to introduce our packages, our plans, our marketing campaign for. Again, we have to, in order for a business, to stay, we should have calculate our performance. We should measure our performance. We should evaluate our performance. Again, in order to continue. Because everyone in any business, he may not see the object and any disadvantages he may make. But there should be some factors, calculation, that you calculate your performance attitude, That's again governments. We have to because you see, a problem is that maybe we should, and this should be with the authorities, in the governments, in every countries, there should be a governance or work, because it's very unfair that one company who is abusing the business, he may affect all the other good, parts of the market, So that's the governments. We have to insist that with our governments, that there are governments, policy and for the system in the business, So now B2B is a major business now. In the future, there will be B2C. So we have to invest very much in this B2C because the clients should come to us directly. He doesn't have to go to the service provider. We should have deals with service providers here, like hoteling, catering, transportation. We could with the big numbers. Should be collaboration, with all the parts of the package service, that we could get a very attractive, services for the mu'tamir that he may not get by himself alone, So these things will attract these things that we should aware about. We should be very invest in it for the future in order to stay in the business. Otherwise, if we keep like before, we'll soon get out of the business. Now it's a new era. The Saudi government, they have a new vision. They want to increase the numbers. They don't want people to will not work as before. The numbers will increase. Inshallah, within 3-4 years, you'll see the numbers will go back, and there are plenty of people will be willing and recover those 2 years we lost, during this season. So there are again, there's one think, we should invest in. There are so many potentials, so many resources here in Saudi Arabia, other than Makkah and Medina. People, they could come in, since they already came here to Saudi Arabia. Why not they get to know about the culture of Saudi Arabia, about the history of Saudi Arabia, about, like Ghazawat, where are they can go, and there's a cultural, tourism, ziyarat and these things. They know about Sahaba, Khulafa Rashidin. They know the places, the history places, of those. So many potential. There are so many, because we are not using the potential of this area, Makkah and Medina, and areas around. There's so many things, we could start, to in the business, in the vicinity. There are another. Cure, medicine, tourism, there are very high advanced medical institutions here. People can come here and get, treatment, and there are so many long beaches. So there are so many leisure, activities could be done. There are sports. So many now. Government of Saudi Arabia is paying too much attention in sport. So there's some international events, they're held. Like if you next, there's a Formula One, in Jeddah, gonna happen. That's an international event, of car racing, So there are so many things, people, if they get to know about it, they will be willing to come. We need that. I know people from all over the world, like let's speak about Pakistan and India and Bangladesh. I know some people, they take their family, their children every year, to Europe and other, places, for tourism. They will be willing to come to Makkah, Medina, and spend their vacation in Makkah, Medina, provided that it's very pleasant, the service is good and it is pleasant. Of course, they will not be vulnerable to the Western, culture. They will be vulnerable to Islamic culture. They will be willing. So the quality of the service will affect this. If you have a good quality of service, if you have a proper, packages and programs, they can go through, during their trip. This will again affect the numbers, affect the quality, even the benefit of the parties, involved in the business and from this thing. So there are so many things that we could, but I want to insist that you guys, the thing in the future will be very different. This is not the Umrah business we used to know. Within 3-4 years, everything will be totally different. We should be, from now, we should be prepared for this time. I ask you and urge you, that start, planning for the future. There will be no visas. We will not be involved in visas. This will be a matter of history, in few years, So make sure that we could stay in the business without even the visa, and this is very possible. It's not something impossible. We should go through that. There are certain things will continue even after this pandemic leave, like organization, safety, and hazards, and these things and spacing. We have to live with these things, This will be a matter of fact, in the coming future. So we should not get annoyed because of this. They are good, alhamdulillah. because we don't know what's going to happen in the future. The thing is that the authenticity of as Mr. Salman was saying, and I thank him very much for this opportunity, for this. I talk too much about this for this event. Alhamdulillah, things will people we get together and we speak, and I will be very happy to. About the authenticity of I will speak just at the end of my speech about the regulation. The thing is that regarding the COVID-19, things are not very much known for anyone. Things incidentally, all regulation comes incidentally, according to the situations. About Wazat al-Hajj, the problem we are facing Wazat al-Hajj that there are just sudden, laws and regulations. Like today, they just made a new law today. We received a letter from Wazat al-Hajj that any mu'tamir comes after 48 hours, you have to make a PCR test here in Saudi, even if he come with a PCR test. This is just this morning we received this. So this will affect, they don't give you in advance, the same day. So people already arrived, so they maybe not, they haven't make the arrangement for the cost of the test or whatever. So many things like this, but we have to live with this. Because there are so many authorities are related in the decision making, and it's not just Wazat al-Hajj, so many things. So there are complicated, process, So things are coming suddenly, We are, this is one of our, and we used to this for long, We are living with this. So there are nothing you can say that very clear. Things are, but we the framework, we know at least the framework of the business, the major things, like what I'm saying, about the visa. This is, we have to, people, after the pandemic, again, one thing I may forget, which is the vaccine, They will put the condition of the vaccine maybe after 3 months or so, By next season, vaccine will be a must, for any Umrah, applicants. I guess that's most of the. I'll just 4 points I want to insist. One, the visas will be open, so we have to plan ourselves for this. The other thing is we should pay very much in our performance evaluations. We should invest in this, and we should. This is a very major point, to measure our evaluate our performance. We should do good. Should pay much attention for our quality. Government system, we should invest with our governments, our authorities, that to issue our government system to people work safe, in environment, Other things, we need, because of the epidemic, tourism in general is one of the major parts of source of income of national income. With this epidemic, it was one of the worsened sectors of economy have been affected. So let's insist that we have a support from our governments, for in every country. We should contact our governments that we should have big, support for the businessmen in these sectors, to support them, financially, regulation, fees, and these things, to ease the business, in order for the people to come back, to normal life, inshallah. I guess that's in general about the situation I wanted to stress on. If anybody have any questions or any thing, I'll be happy to answer it.
Well, Jazakallah khair. Thank you very much. I think it was very, very insightful, and listening directly from you is very pleasing, and it's like, very authentic information. Thank you for sharing that. Our lot of audience were seriously paying attention, and they were listening to you. Thank you for participation.
I want to just one point. This is about visa, and it will be both for Hajj and Umrah. Even Hajj, Munazzam Hajj, this is a matter of a couple of years, and then there will be no Munazzam Hajj. Hujjaj, there may be no quota even for Hajj. Anyone who wants to perform Hajj, he can come.
Yeah.
Within 4 or 5 years, the number of Hujjaj number of Hajj will be up to 5 million. So,
MashaAllah.
who wants to come to Hajj, he can. He will come directly to the Hajj, whatever, Sharikat Atwaf, Mutawafin company, There will be newcomers again in the Mutawaf will be in the business, and newcomers again will provide the service for Hujjaj as well, international Hujjaj, So people should be aware about this new advancement in the process.
Yeah. So, one common question everybody's asking, and I know everybody's asking since this morning from you as well. Any news about when the possibility of Umrah to start, or Hajj? What is the possibility of Hajj?
Hajj. There is Hajj this year, of course. Last year it was 1,000 Hajj. This year it will be there will be Hajj, because 3 days ago, Wazat al-Hajj sent letters for Hujjaj al-Dakhil, local Hajj, that to start, distributing the mukhayamat and tents in Mina, and they apply, they provide all their documentation and these things. So there is Hujjaj. There will be local domestic Hujjaj, international Hujjaj still, there will be again international, but the number is not yet decided. Even in the local have not been decided. It depends on the circumstances, these things. Authorities, they don't very much, maybe they have rough figures, but still, again, it depends on the situation, the health situation. But anyone, he want to be in the safe side, don't pay much for this year.
Okay. And any chances of Ramadan from external pilgrims?
There will be Ramadan. There will be Ramadan. But will the people be willing? Because so far, in 3 months, just a couple thousand of people came already. Just take this figure, and it is not from government authority or something. No. It is from the Mu'tamar themselves. They're not, they're afraid. So many factors, they affect their decision to make Umrah. This convey to Ramadan. Again, Ramadan is very risky, season, because they may be crowded out, and this crowd is vulnerable to crisis and vulnerable to, diseases. So the people, they come, if the number gets very high, then they may stop the airlines, and the risk is very high, So things, they'll be inshallah. So far, what they are saying, there'll be Umrah for Ramadan.
And from the Western world, we have a lot of friends from right now logged in and listening to you very carefully from UK. That's a major market. I am sitting right now in Canada, and so the tourist visa is also not open right now.
No,
and that was the only way that we could have, like, traveling from here. No travel, no tourist visa so far, right?
no.
Okay, okay.
But people, they come on trade visa.
But that is like difficult for the families, right? So it's
Some people, they manage to.
they have
Anyhow,
the husbands
yeah,
and the
anyhow,
wives both. Yeah,
anyhow,
we both know.
yeah.
Okay, so leave it.
Couple, so many thousand came in already.
Yeah.
The trade visa, people, Umrah came through trade visa more than the Umrah visas have been issued.
Okay. Well,
Anyhow,
I really appreciate that. Really appreciate that. I think we are good with the questions. I really appreciate your participation and you being available for the friends to answer. That was awesome. I think. I thank you very much again. And the question is from if Umrah reopens, what would be the booking process and procedure? I think the process is the same, the old same process. You have to have the BRNs in order to get your package. The BRNs can only be issued through the Maqam. The Maqam is only accessible to the Umrah companies, external agents who have a contract, valid contract with an Umrah company in Saudi Arabia. I think the system is the same. There is nothing, no major changes from last year. Right, so it's just a matter of.
They opened B2C for some time, and people are afraid of using B2C, but nobody used it. But you see, even very few numbers, very, very limited numbers visas have been issued, so
exactly,
far.
Exactly. And you're right, like there is no interest from the customers because they are concerned about their health, the prices, and the travel situation. So people are concerned, right? So, alhamdulillah, Rabbil Alameen. Jazakallah khair. Thank you very much for your time today. Really appreciate that.
My pleasure. I was happy to tell my brothers whatever I know about the business. But
really.
For the future, there's a good prospect in Makkah and Madinah. There's one Makkah and Madinah.
Yeah.
People, till Yawm al-Qiyamah, people are willing to come to Makkah and Madinah.
Sahih.
This will not stop. So just be patient, inshallah. It will get better, inshallah. Allah Kareem.
Allah Kareem, inshallah. Thank you very much. Jazakallah khair. Really appreciate that. So what we will do is now I will be playing one or two small videos, and then from the videos, then we will go back to our own the tables in the lounge where the people can still hang around, talk to. This was the last session of the day today, but the lounge is open till 5 o'clock Saudi time, so people can still hang around and talk to each other. But this was our last session. Tomorrow we have a very full day. We have many important sessions, and then the agenda has been released on the Facebook and the LinkedIn as well. Okay, so thank you very much, Brother Abdul Wahab. I am going to take a risk of playing a video. Maybe you will disconnect or something, but that means I'm just going to take a risk to try this new feature here. Okay, allow me please that.
Yeah, sure.
So let me see what I can do here. Let me see if I can play this video.
How do you make your group bookings for Hajj and Umrah customers? Spend time and money by traveling yourself, going hotel to hotel in Makkah and Madinah, or rely on few agents to find you that perfect deal? It's time for something better, easier, and smarter. Fanatic.com, the leading online platform for Hajj and Umrah group organizers. It's the easy way to manage your hotel, catering, transportation bookings, and all other arrangements. It's simply faster and cheaper. We connect reliable suppliers of Makkah and Madinah to genuine travel agents from around the world, which means you're more likely to find the right hotel or the right building when you need it. And one-time registration is easy. You have 3 ways to make your bookings. Make an offer, more choices, better prices. Bargain the price and quantity at your favorite in-demand properties by submitting your bid, and the hotel will accept, reject, or make a counteroffer. Best deals. First to know the discounts and offers. Make a request. Use our contacts and knowledge to get the bookings at your desired areas and properties. Using us, you pay through secure channels and on-demand legal support available to protect all parties. We are the only company that maintains the reviews and historic information about customers, landlords, and properties, so you can book with confidence whether you have single room or group reservations. Fanatic is your single source of all arrangements, where you can save time, money, and efforts. Register and get started with Fanatic.com in less than 60 seconds.
Okay, so Alhamdulillah, I was able to play the video. We are learning from there.
Thank you. Wish you the best, inshallah.
Inshallah. There is another small video I'm going to play for a few seconds. Let's see. And then we will go back to the lounge, inshallah. Let's hope this will play as well.
تشرق الشمس وتظهر أبراج ميريديان مكة بكامل أناقتها. هذه الأبراج الثمانية التي على مقربة من الحرم المكي صممت بأعلى معايير الجودة والأناقة. تتميز أجنحتها بجمال متفرد، بداية من الجناح الدبلوماسي، وهو عبارة عن غرفة نوم ودورة مياه، ثم الجناح التنفيذي، ويتكون من غرفة نوم وصالة معيشة ومطبخ ودورتي مياه، وآخرها الجناح الملكي، ويتكون من غرفتي نوم وصالة معيشة ومطبخ وثلاث دورات مياه. وبجانب السكن المتفرد تقدم أبراج ميريديان مكة ألذ الوجبات العالمية عبر مطاعمها الثلاثة المتواجدة في دور الميزانين، وهي المطعم الآسيوي ومطعم الخليج والمطعم المغربي. كما يحتوي دور الميزانين على عدد من المحلات التجارية المختلفة التي تلبي احتياجات النزلاء. وفي بهو البرج الخامس يقع مزاج كافيه، وتقدم فيه المشروبات والحلويات المختلفة. في الحفلات الخارجية تقدم أبراج ميريديان مكة ألذ الوجبات العالمية المتنوعة بجودة عالية ونكهة متميزة. وفي قاعات أبراج ميريديان مكة تكون الفرحة أكثر تميزا والمناسبة أعمق بهجة. والأبراج تحتوي على ناد رياضي وصحي مزود بأبرز المعدات الرياضية، إضافة إلى حمامات السباحة وغرف للتدليك وحمام مغربي وغيرها من المرافق التي توفر للنزيل الرفاهية والاسترخاء. كما يحظى النزيل بمواقف مجانية للسيارات في 3 طوابق. أمام أبراج ميريديان مكة تتواجد باصات لنقل النزلاء إلى الحرم المكي على مدار الساعة في مسيرة مريحة وهادئة تقدر بدقيقة و25 ثانية.
Beautiful. Okay, good stuff. All right, so let's go back to the more the tables and the lounge. Thank you, Mr. Abdul Wahab. Take care of yourself. Really appreciate it. Inshallah, we will be in touch.
Thank you, Salman, and it was very helpful, event, for all of us. Thank you.
Alhamdulillah.